Welcome to the Red Onion. My name is Madam Annie Whichway. The Red Onion was built in 1897 and we opened for business as a saloon and brothel in 1898. Now 1898 was the height of the Klondike Gold Rush. In that year, on any given day, the streets of our city were teeming with over 15,000 men, and there were 300 working girls vying for their affections in this town. 15,000 versus 300 meant business was really good. When a guy walked in downstairs and he wanted to spend time with one of our ladies, he'd belly up to the bar because behind our bartender was a shelf. And up on this shelf was a row of 10 dolls. These dolls were made to replicate the 10 live dolls that lived and worked upstairs by hair color, eye color, and even by the color of dress she was most often seen in. You'd tell the bartender what you wanted, and then the bartender would take the doll matching your description and lay her flat on her back. And that was a signal to everyone else in the saloon that she was going to be busy for the next 15 minutes.
It's not coming in clearly. We're going to need to tune in again. So I'm just going to do this myself.
At this point, you'd climb up the stairs, be greeted by the bouncer, and he would escort you down the hallway to the girl of your choice. Once you reached your girl, she'd give you a smile, and then the very first rule of any working girl would come into play. Do you know what that is? Money first. $5 for 15 minutes. As soon as your 15 minutes was up, the bouncer pounded on the door once again, you were escorted back downstairs, and then that girl took all the money she'd just been given, and she threw it down a hole in her floor called the money hole. The money holes were connected by copper pipes that led back downstairs behind the bar to the house safe. Bartender heard the gold nuggets, and then they would turn, make sure they saw the customers descending the stairs, and at that point, they'd take that girl's doll and stand her right back up on its feet, signaling the girl was once again open and available. The Red Onion functioned as a brothel for only 2 years, 1898 and 1900, and after that we were abandoned for about 14. Since then, we have been a laundromat, gift shop, radio station, TV station, union station, post office, pharmacy, bakery, and a World War II Army barracks. So we've basically serviced people in every single way we could think of. All of the wallpaper in our museum is original, but what's interesting about the wallpaper is each time the pattern or the design changes, it represents a different girl. In one of the rooms up here, we went through 18 layers before we hit the bare boards. 18 layers in a room, 10 rooms in total, means approximately 180 women worked here during the Klondike Gold Rush. 180. Now the #1 reason for a woman to move on is just the fact that the gold isn't here. The gold is up the White Pass Trail. So just like those men were mining for gold, our ladies were mining for miners. Madams are the boss and the business managers. They got 50% of the girls' earnings, the bouncers got 25%, and the girls got 25%. So they made $1.25 out of each $5 they earned. Madams took care of a lot for these ladies, so that $1.25 was pure profit because the madam paid for the rent, the madam paid for the meals, the madam paid for the medical, and the madam paid for all of her clothes. Our girls' rooms were 10 by 10. They came with 2 doors for safety, a door connecting it to the bedroom on one side and a door connecting it to the hallway. You'll get to see her beds, and they're quite small, 3-quarter twins. You'll also see some lingerie and some photographs from the 1940s. Although you're entering into the original Red Onion, we're not in our original location. In order to move it, they hired a gang of locals. Those locals put our building up onto 4 rolling logs, tied it to a single horse, surrounded it, and pushed. Pushing, pulling, shoving, dragging, whatever they had to do until they got it here. But it's when they removed the logs and all stepped back to admire their work that they realized they put the building in backwards. And instead of moving the building around the block, they just cut the front off the front, the back off the back, swapped the 2 facades around, nailed it back together, and said, voila, job well done. Thanks for coming up to visit. We can't wait to see you again.